Power isn't always about control in the obvious sense. Sometimes it's more subtle, more elegant. Law 31 reveals one of the sharpest tools in the strategist's arsenal: control the options, get others to play with the cards you deal.
This is one of my favorite laws because it's so invisible. People think they're choosing, but they're only choosing between the choices you've allowed them to see.
Exactly, that's the genius. It's not about forcing anyone, it's about framing. You create a set of options where no matter what they pick, you win.
And it works because humans hate feeling trapped. We resist commands, but we love the illusion of freedom. This law gives people just enough autonomy to feel in control, while keeping you in command of the outcome.
It's like handing someone a menu that looks diverse, but every dish was designed in the same kitchen. You control the flavor, the tempo, the outcome.
Robert Greene uses historical examples to show how the most brilliant leaders offered their enemies choices that were all traps. It's psychological judo, using the illusion of freedom to direct action.
And it works in every sphere: politics, relationships, business. If you define the terms, you define the result.
Even in negotiation, the person who lays out the options first often owns the frame. You put the other side in response mode. They start reacting to your structure instead of proposing their own.
And the moment they're reacting, you've already shifted the power dynamic. You've become the architect. The game is being played in your arena.
And here's the real twist. Sometimes the most powerful move is offering only two options, both of which benefit you, and letting the other person feel like they made a smart, independent choice.
It's not deception, it's strategy. You're not lying, you're just curating the landscape. You're saying, here's the field we're playing on, and if they accept it, they play by your rules.
That's influence on another level. Quiet, controlled, and devastatingly effective.
Let's break this down into real life. You don't need to be a king, a general, or a CEO to apply this law. Even in everyday conversations, you can guide people without ever giving orders.
Exactly. Let's say you're managing a team. Instead of saying, we need to do this, you say, would you prefer we move forward with strategy A or B? Both lead to your goal, but now they feel involved, consulted, empowered.
And that's key. The power is invisible. They don't feel cornered because the illusion of choice is intact, but the outcome is still yours.
It's the same in relationships. When someone feels like they're making decisions freely, they're more invested. But if you're subtly framing the options, you're still driving the direction.
Parents do this all the time. Do you want to brush your teeth before or after putting on pajamas? Either way, the child brushes their teeth. That's this law in action.
Robert Greene isn't just teaching control. He's teaching control that feels like freedom. That's the real art here. You're not dominating people. You're designing paths they want to walk.
And it goes deeper. When you control the options, you limit the chaos. You narrow the field of unpredictable outcomes. It becomes easier to manage people, plans, even crises.
Because now you're not trying to control every move, you're just shaping the menu. And people will stay within it unless they're highly aware, which most aren't.
And if they do notice, you've still won, because they had to step outside the frame, which shows they were reacting to something you created in the first place.
Exactly. Even rebellion confirms your influence. That's why controlling options is more powerful than control itself. It's psychological. It's architectural.
And in a world obsessed with visibility, this law teaches restraint, quiet influence, designing choice structures that lead exactly where you want without ever pushing.
So the question becomes, in your life, are you choosing freely, or are you moving within someone else's design?
Because if you're not setting the frame, chances are you're inside one.
Once you start seeing it, it's everywhere. Every time someone gives you 2 or 3 options, stop and ask, who designed this decision?
Right. It's easy to get trapped in someone else's frame. Even when you think you're making a bold move, you're still operating inside their parameters.
Think of job offers. You're told you can take the position now or wait until next year.
But what if the real power move is creating a third path, renegotiating, proposing a new role, or walking away entirely?
Exactly. If you only choose from what's offered, you're not strategizing, you're accepting. That's where most people get stuck. They confuse decision-making with power, when the real power lies in setting the context.
That's why this law is also about awareness. If you don't know who's shaping your options, then you're playing their game, not yours.
And sometimes we do it to ourselves. We create internal frames based on fear. I can either settle or fail. But that binary, that's a mental trap, and someone else probably planted it there.
Yes, a lot of people internalize limited choices. Family, school, society, all give us subtle frames. And if we never question them, we live inside invisible boxes for decades.
And that's dangerous, because you may build your whole life making smart decisions inside a frame that was never yours.
So the power move isn't just offering options to others, it's reclaiming your own, redesigning the frame, asking, what isn't being shown to me? What am I not considering?
Strategists live in that space. They don't just take what's handed to them. They pause, analyze, and if needed, they redraw the map entirely.
And that's not easy. It means risking the discomfort of being without a map. It means rejecting the illusion of control others try to offer you.
But that's where autonomy begins, when you stop reacting to options and start creating your own.
Law 31 isn't just about manipulating others, it's about freeing yourself from being manipulated. And that starts with seeing every frame for what it is, a choice, not a truth. This law plays out on every scale, from personal dynamics to global systems. Think about politics, elections. We're usually told, here are your two candidates, but who chose them? Who shaped that menu?
Exactly. People vote thinking they're choosing, but the real decision was already made upstream when the options were curated. That's where the game is really played.
And it's the same in media. You're offered narratives, debates, outrage cycles, but behind that, someone is deciding what gets shown and how. Your emotions are responding to a map you didn't design.
That's what makes this law so subversive. It's not just about individual manipulation, it's about mass framing. Influence entire groups just by managing what they believe are their choices.
And the scary part? Most people never question the structure. They argue inside the frame. They defend or attack, but rarely ask who built this setup.
And when you do ask, everything changes. You stop being a participant and start becoming a designer. That's when power starts to shift.
Even in marketing, the best brands don't say buy or don't buy. They say which version fits you best. The sale is embedded in the options. You feel like you're choosing, but the decision was engineered.
That's the beauty of elegant control. You're not fighting resistance, you're removing it through design. You guide people without force, just direction.
That's why charismatic leaders often appear so relatable. They make people feel like they're part of something, like their input matters, when in truth, the structure is tightly controlled.
And we crave that. Humans love structure. We feel safer when someone says, here's the path. The trick is to be the one laying out the path, not just walking it.
So whether you're leading a team, selling an idea, building influence, remember, you don't have to control people. You only need to control the choices they think they're making.
And once you master that, you're no longer just in the conversation. You're directing it.
A lot of people hear this law and think it's manipulative. But here's the truth. Everything is being framed all the time. The only question is, are you doing the framing or are you being framed?
Exactly. This isn't about deception. It's about design. You're not lying. You're curating experience. And if you don't, someone else will.
Take decision fatigue. It's real. People don't want 1,000 options. They want clarity. So when you present a focused set of choices, you're actually providing relief.
That's what the best leaders understand. Control the environment, and you don't have to control the people. You guide them with structure, not pressure.
Same goes for persuasion. If you're selling something, don't ask, do you want this or not? That creates resistance. Ask, would you prefer this version or that one? Now they're choosing how, not if.
And even in conflict, especially emotional situations, this law is gold. Instead of pushing, you ask, do you want to talk now or later? The emotion is acknowledged, but you've regained the frame.
That's a powerful reframe because it respects autonomy while still directing the flow. You're not shutting people down, you're guiding them.
And it's not just about others. You can use this law on yourself. If you're procrastinating, create options that lead you forward. Do I work on this now or after lunch? Either way, you're moving.
So this law isn't just strategy, it's self-leadership. If you know how to guide decisions, you don't need to force anything. You influence through architecture.
And influence built through architecture lasts longer. It doesn't collapse under pressure because it was designed, not imposed.
And here's the best part. People will thank you for it because good framing feels like clarity. It feels like momentum. And everyone wants to follow someone who makes things simpler.
So whether you're in business, teaching, parenting, coaching, negotiating, remember, your power isn't in the push, it's in the menu you create.
So let's be honest. The people who shape the world aren't always the ones with the loudest voices. Sometimes they're the ones quietly shaping the choices everyone else moves between.
They're not standing at the front yelling orders. They're behind the scenes, arranging the options, placing the questions, creating the context, and most of the time, no one even notices.
That's the brilliance of this law. The power is invisible, but the effects are everywhere. It doesn't demand authority, it designs it.
And this isn't about mind games. It's about clarity, intention, leadership that knows how to move people, not through force, but through framing.
The mistake most people make is thinking that freedom means limitless options, but real freedom comes from well-crafted direction, from being able to say, I created this path.
So if you want more control in your life, over your time, your energy, your relationships, stop reacting to options and start building them.
Design the room, set the table, define the choices before someone else does it for you, because if you're not controlling the frame, you're being framed.
And don't underestimate how subtle this can be. You can shift an entire conversation, an entire relationship, just by asking the right question at the right moment.
Or by offering a set of paths where each one leads to your intended outcome, while making the other person feel like they're leading the way.
That's elegance. That's power without friction. It doesn't trigger resistance, it guides it.
So now, the challenge is simple. Start watching. Notice when options are being placed in front of you. Ask, who built this list? Who's benefiting from these choices?
And when it's your turn to lead, don't push. Just deal the cards, and make sure they're the cards you want in play.
Next week, we move into one of the most seductive laws of all, Law 32, play to people's fantasies, because sometimes reality can't compete with what people want to believe.
Until then, sharpen your awareness, define your frames, and remember, when you control the options, you control everything.